Hey, it's Allie Edwards, and today I am finishing up my Project Life spread for the month of July in 2020. And as you can see right here, I actually have things kind of laid out. I decided this time to approach this month a little bit differently. What I did is I went back in my Instagram account and I looked for some of the stories that I told, some that were a little bit longer, right, that had a little more context. And I decided to just copy and paste those onto journal cards that were designed for the Stories by the Month kit. And you can see that I used the currently ones the most. And then I used one with the fun floral pattern there. And what I am pretty much doing with this one is I'm gonna leave it pretty plain. I'm gonna add some embellishments on here. But I love that it's kind of word heavy. It's less photo heavy. I also didn't take a ton of photos in July. Many of them that I did take were outdoor photos of some of our outdoor adventures, which I may incorporate into other stories that I tell in just our family album for 2020. So I'm okay with having this just kind of be an overview, right? That's really how I'm feeling about Project Life, or this project in general. You know, I love the idea I can have a 2020 album, it can have an overview of stories, and then some of my other projects can have deeper dive stories. So that's what I'm looking at here. So here's essentially the spread. I also printed out 8.5 by 11 enlargement. This is from one of our outdoor adventures. And then I did another one that is a photo of most of us that Erin took just one random day in July on a weekend when everyone happened to be in the same room, essentially doing a variety of their own individual activities, but all together. And so I wrote a little bit about that down there. At first I was going to put this in a page protector, but then I was like, I might as well introduce into here this concept of working outside of the page protectors as well. I don't think I've done that too much in this one so far this year. It's been more in my smaller albums. The other thing that I did do for July is I participated in the Positivity Passport Challenge. This is a super cute little notebook that is from Everyday Explorers, and I will link this for you guys as well. And this is what I did during the month of July, is I literally just wrote down something that I was excuse me, like a positive thing each day, or something that brought me joy each day. I used a brush pen, and then there were some stamps that came with the little kit. This was a really fun way to approach documenting in July that was word-based, right? And some of it was, you know, they're just short little things that I wrote down at the end of each day. But I love that I can just stick this inside this little envelope. It actually came with that, and then I'm using just a piece of washi tape over the top to keep it in place. So, you know, I love the thought that you can do a variety of different kinds of documenting, and it can still get saved or recorded or be held in a similar place along with any other stories that you might want to tell. So like I said, I'm just going to do a very minimal embellishing on here, and I like that. I like that option of, you know, kind of just going with what you feel like, and that's kind of what I feel like this time. So I'm gonna dive in and get started. All right, so not a lot of things happening here. Mainly just going to go ahead and add on a few chipboard pieces that were from that Stories by the Month kit. Of course, all of the journaling storytelling here was already copied and pasted onto those cards in Photoshop, which worked out really well. Now I am adhering my 8.5 by 11 photos back to back. One of them has journaling on it and the other one doesn't. I'm using the Power Punch to punch the holes that match this album. Our 9 by 12 albums have 4 holes in them, so making that adjustment here. I really do like having things outside of the page protector as well, and I think that maybe next year in my 9x12 Project Life album, I'll play a little bit more with that. I'm not sure. I don't know yet. We'll see. It's kind of playing it by ear. I did add the July stories onto that 8.5x11 photo insert, and then also added an Avery index tab along the edge. One of the stamps from the stamp set, the 3x4 stamp set that was included with that kit, has something that says like, stories about life right now or something to that effect. And that's what I ended up putting in the index tab. Then on my other, on the first side here, I decided not to add any embellishments to my photos. This time are the photos that were inside of the pockets. So I'm just going through that process of basically slipping things into the pockets and thinking a little bit about, do I want to add other things onto them or not? I did add the date onto the spot on that journal card that was available for that. And I also added just the month date. I don't always do that in my monthly Project Life spread, but this time I decided to add the rolling dates there, so the 1st through the 31st. Then I flipped back through the last couple of months just to kind of see what was I doing. Do I want to add anything else? This is kind of that place in the process where I could just stop and be done and it would be totally fine. But I decided to do a couple more things, including here I'm just doing some stamping, repeat stamping using the So Darn Fun stamp that was included with the kit. Using a few different colors on there, and then I went ahead and added black in there, and then I just kind of stamped all over the place. A lot more repeat stamping, and then ended up doing that on a couple of those 4x6 currently journal cards as well, just to give it a little more texture. I think the texture that comes from the repeat stamping is kind of fun, so I did that on 2 of them. One of them you saw here, and then the other one you didn't. But I'm happy to have this one wrapped up. I can move on and do my August storytelling, and just going to be super happy, I think, to have 2020 storytelling done by the end of the year. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments below.